Good morning, honorable members sitting here in front with me, the department present and our stakeholders, guests, the people of Tshwane. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, I take this opportunity to welcome you all in this important gathering of today, the public meeting of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. As the committee, we are honored to be here in Ward 61, City of Tshwane, engaging directly with the community of Tshwane on the sport, arts, culture and recreation. Today's session is part of the legislature's commitment of bringing the parliament to the people, to ensure that the oversight is not just confined into the boardrooms, but happens where services are delivered. So I want to acknowledge the presence of the HOD, officials from Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Gauteng Film Commission, representatives from the City of Tshwane present here, and all of you, our valued stakeholders and community members who made time to come and join us as we come to you. We appreciate and look forward to your participation today. And thank you once again and welcome. Before we start the meeting, I will want to declare the venue so that we can all, moving forward, take this as if we are in the precinct of the legislature. So as the chairperson of the Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Member Disebo Tlebere, I declare the Lodium Civic Center the precinct of the legislature in line with Rule 56, subsection 2 of the standing rules of the legislature. Thank you. Honorable members, we have an agenda with you. Do you have any apologies? We have one apology of Honorable MEC Matume Chilwani, who's not in good health and will not be joining us today, but he has sent the HOD who will be representing him and other senior members of the department who will also present the reports that we are here today for, and they will respond to the question emanating from the presentation, and they will be able to respond on those. So those are the apology I have of the MEC. I have the apology of another member Ndlovu, who's writing his exam, and the chairperson of the committees who have other engagement of the committee, other responsibility. Those are the apologies that we have. Let me also introduce honorable members that are here today. On my far left is Member Miso, who's part of the committee.
Sanbonani.
Next to Member Miso is Member Sitika.
Dumelang.
Next to Member Sitika is Member Diacher.
Good morning.
Next to me is Member Shabalala.
Sanbonani.
And on my right hand side is our support staff who support us in the committee, is Ms. Pilile Sigubudu. And then next to her is Ms. Mulatelo, who is the committee researcher. Ms. Pilile is the committee administrator, and then Ms. Mulatelo is committee researcher. And then after Ms. Mulatelo, we have Mr. Luandile Dabula, who is the committee administrator. We also have Abuti Aubrey, who's our communication liaison person. Hansen, there recording our meetings is Mary Filwe. We have the apology of Jenny, who's also part of our support staff. She has bereavement in the family this morning. She received news of the bereavement. And then we have Memanuku, who's also part of our support staff and here with us. So those are the only apologies we have. Those are the members of introduction of members of our committees and our support staff present. And we have one outstanding standing apology of Member Letwalo, who is also the chair of the health, which is also sitting and presenting to other stakeholders in Vereeniging. So those are the apologies. Members, as the agenda, are we adopting the agenda? Member Diacher.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you. Seconder.
Yes. Second, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are now on the purpose of the meeting. Today is a public meeting, and today's public meeting is a key platform for promoting accountability and transparency in government. This is as public representatives in front of you with the department. We have a duty as the committee to share with you communities the outcome of the departmental work, how the department has been performing since the past financial year, and also to listen to your experience with the department and the services that they will have provided to you. The purpose of this session is to present to you the annual report of the Gauteng Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation and the Gauteng Film Commission. This will also allow you as the community and the public to assess whether the department's programs are having a positive and measurable impact, or whether public resources are being used efficiently and effectively. And your feedback today will also be a reflection and will also assist us to strengthen our oversight as part of our work as the portfolio committee, and help ensure that the services that the department provides reach communities and also make an impact. It does not reach communities, but whether it makes an impact in our communities. So with those few words, I would like to now receive the presentation of the department from the HOD. I will now invite the HOD to come and deliver the presentation. HOD.
Good morning to the chair of the committee, honorable members of the committee, the community of Ladwan. We here to present the annual report for the department. The department is mandated to create a social cohesion, bring South Africans together through sports, through culture, through recreation, equally through building of museums and libraries. We have 12 months to fulfill the targets. We're here to present what has happened from 24-25. I'm here going to invite Mr. Stigley to present on our behalf. Chair will be available for questions and comments after. Mr. Stigley, may I invite you?
Actually, before that is Sydney, maybe I should also announce that we have handset here. For those who don't understand any other language, you can request them hear the handset. You can just raise your hand and then we'll come to you to give you so that we can fully understand. And this device also provide for you an opportunity to press any language. We have English on 1, Sepedi or Setswana on 3, Sizulu or Isindebele on 4, and Afrikaans on 2, Chivenda and Chitonga on 5. So if you are in need of this, you can just raise your hand so that you can be able to listen in and be able to participate freely. You may continue. Continue then.
Is it right? No, thank you very much. HOD, let me extend my greetings in absentia to the MEC of the Gauteng Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Tate Chilwane, and extend my greetings to you, HOD Chair, honorable members, and very importantly, to the stakeholders that are here, that every day when we wake up, Chair, we endeavor to provide them with the best of service. Chair, allow me to acknowledge in our presence our colleague from the Gauteng Sport Confederation, Mr. Lothari, who is here. You are acknowledged together with Mr. Yasin Lombard and all other distinguished guests that have graced this very important meeting. As the HOD would have indicated, ours is to present the performance of the department in the previous financial year, which ended on the 31st of March this year. That is the 24-25 financial year. That is the presentation outline. We're going to provide the background and introduction. We've got a mission, vision, and values, non-financial program output information, financial output, or department spending trends, and we're going to take the Gauteng Film Commission. Chair, I need to indicate from the onset that I'll take the meeting through the performance information, and then later I'll request the acting CFO to come and present on the financial performance of the department. maybe in the interest of, that is the background, Chair, and I don't think I need to spend much time on it and to focus on the values of the department, but more importantly, it's the vision, which what we exist to achieve. And if you look at the vision of the department, we strive to be an active, creative, modernized and informed Gauteng City region contributing to sustainable socio-economic growth and social cohesion. Chair and honorable members, I need to indicate that the services that we provide as a department, that's program 2, 3 and 4 core services. If we look at our vision, the variables that we have included in our vision, they speak to the work that we do as a department. You know, the active part is covered through the sport, the creative part is covered through program 2, cultural affairs and heritage, and then modernization part of it is covers mainly what we do in the library. So our vision in generally really talks to what we do as a department, the programs, the core programs that we do offer. So as I go through the presentation, there has to be that strong, link between what we present and what we seek to achieve as a department, as captured in our vision. You would note that we've got 4 programs. Program 1 is composed of human resource, that is the ICT, communications, finance. It seeks to provide, it's mainly the strategic support of what we do as a department. So program 2, it's cultural affairs. You would note in the current financial year, Chair and honorable members, this has changed now. It's called Arts, Culture and Heritage. So which seeks to provide financially and other support to implement some programs in the unit as follows. So we've got the creative arts, we've got the creative industry and museum and heritage resources under program 2. Our program 3, it's library information and archival services. So this provides financial support to Gauteng libraries, mainly community libraries and preservation of provincial archives through the subunits as listed below. So we're focusing on library information services. In fact, I would love to go back to the creative cultural affairs request so that you see who is here. A request and Tatima Zila, the acting chief director for program 2, to say hi to your good selves. He is responsible for program 2. I will now request Mabaloyi to at least stand up and greet. She's responsible for program 3. Program 4, sports and recreation, we have 3, we've got 4 sub-programs: sport development and cooperation and coordination, recreation, competitive sport and school sport. It's headed by Memu Vevi. Say hi to our beautiful people. We've got this acting CFO, which mainly, participate in program 1. Mema Shudu, please say hi to. Those that I would have left, please pardon me. Let's not fight when we go back home. Chair, our presentation today details that in the quarter which we're presenting today, we had set 73 output indicators divided amongst the 4 programs that I have indicated: program 1, program 2, program 3, and program 4. Now, of the 73 output indicators that were set, the department achieved 65, which constitute 89%, and 8 of those, which constitute 11%, were not achieved. I need to indicate, Chair, that in comparison to the preceding financial year, this marks a 5% increase, because in the year before 24-25, that is 23-24, as a department, we had achieved 84%. Now, what does this mean to the community? It's the increase. We're not only interested in the increase from 84 to 85. The figures do not make sense to the communities, but what would make sense to the community is what is the impact, what is the change that this increase has brought about in the community. And Chair, I can indicate that this increase boasts significant impact that the department would have brought about in communities. We do take note of the budget constraints that as a department, as a province we have, but Chair, I can indicate that this simplifies that we have to a lesser extent allowed our people to participate in different sporting programs that we offer. We have allowed our people to participate in different arts and cultural programs that we offer. We have provided to some extent through our library programs, some reading programs in the communities. So we may have not touched every one of you in this hall, but we have, improved our services, our footprint in the different, spheres of communities. So it marks a significant improvement. Those who would have been in the meeting last year, you would recall that we reported 84%, but because of the commitment that the department has, we have improved to 89% improvement. Now, in terms of the programs, this is what I would have indicated earlier on, that the target said 73, 65 achieved, and 8 not achieved. Now, this is the achievement per program. Program 1, Administration 1, has indicated that it's mainly finance, strategic support, transformation, audit and risk. So out of the 8 targets, 12 targets, we achieved 8, which constitutes 67% achievement. And then the cultural affairs, which is core. This is where we provide support to our artists. This is where we promote and preserve our heritage services. This is where we implement our creative industry support. We provide professional support to our artists. Chair, it excites me to present that we achieved 100% of the 19 targets that we had said. The department achieved 19 of them. That means it's 100% achievement. So this therefore means that our inroads in providing services to communities, it's gradually improving. Notwithstanding the challenges that we're still having, but definitely we are making inroads in terms of providing our services in different communities. The library and archival services, out of the 11 targets that were set, there's only 1 target that was not achieved, which constitutes 91% achievement. Here we're talking of the reading programs that we implement in communities. Members that are gathered here would agree with me that reports lately indicates that the comprehension level of readings when it comes to our children, it's way very low. So as a department, we have made it our mission to make sure that we respond, we assist the Department of Education through our library programs to make sure that our children have books they're able to read. Our authors, local emerging authors who are beginning to write, we advise them to touch base with us. There's a number of books that we have procured from local emerging authors. I guess some of them are here, so that they are able to continue writing. We are aware of the challenges that they face on a daily basis. So as a department, we are saying that we'll procure your books and then take them to our libraries, and our children will read those libraries. We put free Wi-Fi in our libraries. You would have seen that many a times our libraries are surrounded by people, and the reason for that is that they want to have access to the Wi-Fi that we provide there. So it's not only the number, as I've indicated, that we're reporting on, but it's only the impact that we're having as a department. And as sport and recreation, of the 31 targets that were set, HOD, we achieved 28, which constitute 90%, and then all in all, they aggregate to 89%. And in sports and recreation, this is where we provide, we are very much aware as a department that some of our athletes, some of our children who participate in our sporting activities or sporting codes do not have resources to procure, their attire, to procure the equipment. So we've made it as a responsibility as our department, with the little budget that we have, then we are able to procure equipment and attire, and those who participate in our programs, and when we do supply them with the equipment and attire. And all other, there's quite a lot of programs that we do implement. This is a testimony that we're working in communities, the pictures that you see. This is a testimony that we work in communities. You can see our ladies playing ladies soccer there. You can see our children, performing arts, arts and cultural dances. So it's a testimony that we exist and live and implement our programs in communities. Now, these are the output indicators or the targets that were set for Program 1. Chair, 1 talks to 50% women representation on SMS level. So as a department, we have a responsibility to make sure that we promote, women, especially in senior management level. So we are sitting at 53% in total in terms of the employment of women in the department. So we're sitting at 53%. So that means that we have more women in our senior management as opposed to males. And that is good progress. I think we can give that a round of applause. And in terms of, we have a responsibility as well to make sure that we procure from, companies that are owned by women, companies that are owned by youth, companies that are owned by military veterans, companies that are owned by people with disabilities. And I can comfortably report, Chair, that we have made significant progress in terms of procuring from the designated groups. We still call upon mainly companies that are owned by military veterans and companies that are owned by people with disabilities to come forth, so that we can, as a department, continue to support them, because those are the areas that even when we want to support, we don't get a lot of people really responding to our RFQ. So especially military veterans and people living with disabilities, we call upon your availability to make sure that the department does really procure and support yourselves. One of the commitments is that the services that we procure must be procured from the township areas. So we have made significant progress. Our target was 60%. So we overachieved that by 9%. So we're sitting at 69% achievement. What does this mean? This simply means that when we appoint service providers, we prefer service providers that are from townships. And we guided, and SCM will speak to that, how they do that. But mainly it's us preferring making sure that, your businesses are supported by the department. And to make sure that, Chair, payments, are made within 15 days, that have got valid invoices. So we have achieved 79%. We are not proud, Chair. We would have loved to be standing at 100% achievement, but we're sitting at 79%. But we're working very hard to ensure that we achieve 100%, because we are very cognizant of the fact that the further we delay on our side to effect payment, and especially township economies, we're really affecting their cash flow. We their business. So as a department, we commit ourselves that we want to make sure that payments are made with valid invoices within 15 days, so that when they get other businesses as well, they are able to run their businesses. A lot of them would come to us to say that, I don't have money, I have borrowed this money from a Mashonisa, from somebody else. So the further you guys delay, the more it takes on my interest. So we are committing to make sure that valid invoices acting CFO are paid within 15 days. I think we can move to Program 2, Cultural Affairs. And as I've indicated, Chair, you would see creative arts. These are the people who would have participated. Some of the pictures that we took, these are the people that would have participated in our creative arts, programs, creative industry. You will see there, it's the market access. The beats that you see down there, it's about the market access, where we create space for our artists to come and really showcase their talents. You can see the 5 ladies there. It's about the Heritage Day and the museums, the pictures there. This is the program that I indicated that achieved 100% and was under the period under review. See the pictures of our creative arts program there. You see the Swan dance there. You see the hip hop dancing there. So this is how we engage with the community in terms of our programs. Then cultural affairs. This is where we provide, local emerging authors with support, to make sure that they continue to grow in their space. Now, so we provided 9 fee-paying schools to participate in arts and culture programs, and these are schools that would ordinarily be found in the township because we know that they do not enough resources. So as a department, we say, make sure that our programs are fair, that we implement our programs, so we identify the non-fee-paying schools, especially in our communities, so that we create an opportunity and a platform for them to participate in our arts and culture programs. So we have provided 413 of those schools. So arts practitioners benefiting from technical arts skills supported. We have provided 223 artists, with technical skills like your writing, your dancing, lighting, just different, skills that we provided. We provided them across the entire province. We have partnerships as well with the arts and cultural living legends. We supported 50 of them so that they can help the department to market and implement and popularize the programs that we implement. Then in terms of the premium social cohesion performing arts programs, we implemented 7, the target was 5, so we overachieved by 2 targets. So this is where we support, our arts programs. Then we have a number of arts and culture community awards supported. You will see we have 1. And then we see the pictures, we see the performance there, the community awards, a number of Gauteng Heritage Carnival hosted. We'll see the pictures that they are. We implemented one just as a show of acknowledgement, of the work that our artists, people are doing. So we're moving to creative industries. I don't want to elaborate like I indicated earlier on what it is all about. But you will see that this is the upper level of the creative arts where we create a professional assistance to our artists. So there's about 612 practitioners that benefited from capacity building opportunities. This is where, we train our artists, different trainings in relation to the work that they do for free without them paying any cents. So we doing those trainings within the 5 corridors in the Gauteng province, and 580 emerging creatives were trained through the mentorship programs, and a number of arts and culture events, financial supported 11. We had then provided 2 but we provided 11 with 11 art and culture events. So you therefore notice that the department is making inroads in terms of the support that it provides to arts and culture programs, mainly in our townships. Live music initiatives, we implemented 7, and market access initiatives implemented 18, and this is where I indicated that we invite our artists to come and showcase, to come and market the different products that they have. So this is one of the most important programs that we implement, and I'm sure that the head of Corridor South is here, and should be able to speak some of the programs that we have taken place in this very region. So the cultural industry programs implemented in public spaces, 8, and cultural creative industry awards supported 2, creative supported with equipment or materials, we're sitting at 10, just to make sure that our artists, they have got the required materials and resources that they need to use as when they require to do so. In terms of heritage, you see the picture there. We acknowledge our, heroes and heroines who have played a very significant role to liberate this country through different means. But one of the means that we acknowledge them is to install plaques just to honor our heroes and heroines, for their contribution towards the liberation of this country. And we have done that to 4. And heritage sites, provisionally declared. You understand that our names sometimes still bear, names of the party. So we're moving towards to make sure that we correct, the past. So a number of initiatives implemented to raise awareness on the national symbols. We implemented 35 and multi-lingualism awareness initiatives conducted 12. And number of community conversation dialogues we implemented with. This is another important program that we do as a department, because we understand that we have not reached the point at the level where we begin to accept one another. So we are as a department making sure that we have these discussions in different communities to make sure that we build a non-racial, non-sexist society, so that we begin to accept one another, we begin to operate in the same space without judging the next person. So we implement these programs in our communities time and again. So in the financial year review, we implemented 20 of them. And in terms of library and archival services, you see the picture there, the first picture there, the picture on the right, the MSC opening Alra Park Library, another picture is the second from my right, it's the toy, toy library, and another one that we were supporting the local imaging workers. Chair, honorable members, members of the community, the department is responsible for the library programs in the province. Now, there is an agreement with the municipalities that the department will then transfer money to municipalities for the operationalization of the library. So we have transferred money to the 9 municipalities so that they can operationalize the libraries on behalf of the province. So what they do, they procure books at some point, they maintain the libraries, they pay salaries, they employ staff. So maintenance in general and other things that require, ICT maintenance. So we have HOD chair to all the 9 libraries from both the conditional grant and the voted funds. And then we do monitoring visits to make sure that the money that has been transferred is really spent for what it was allocated for. So 150 monitoring visits were done to make sure that the money transferred to municipalities is not redirected to something else, but to make sure that it is used for what it was intended for. The Mzansi online, the Mzansi Libraries online programs, 35 libraries. This is where we procure tablets, Xboxes, we install we install the facial recognition system. So as you walk into the library, you know, the camera there that really, so it tells us the number of people per day that will, you know, access the library. So as it stands now, if we go into the system, that system will then tell us the library in Ludia, there is how many people thus far that have since morning used that particular library, or throughout the day. So it gives us real-time data in terms of the usage of the library. So if we want to know that we need to extend the library, so that stands really informs us that no, the usage is way too high in this area as compared to the other areas. So that is the first recognition system that we implemented. So this is what we do about the modernization of our libraries. About 35 of our libraries would then have benefited from this particular system. But we are, it was a pilot project, and I need to indicate that we are continuing to roll out the facial recognition in all our libraries, because we need to take it bit by bit depending on the budget that is available. I would have indicated that the reading program in the country, it's way too low. And it's precisely because some of our children don't have books, some do not have access to libraries. But we are saying as a department, our target of 8,000 to make sure that people benefit from reading programs, because a nation that does not read really is a doomed nation. So we covered about 8,406 people who benefited from our reading programs that we implement as a department. The 10 schools benefited, 10 non-fee paying schools benefited, were supported with library materials. So what we do, Chair, honorable members, and members of the community, we identify a library, probably in a community or in a school, and then we say that no, there's a shortage of books, there's a shortage of furniture, and then we work in collaboration with the Department of Education, and then we then buy the books for reading, we buy furniture, we buy toy libraries if it's an SCDCD, so that our children have access to these resources. So 10 libraries were supported from non-fee paying schools, and non-fee paying schools predominantly are found in our county. So we would have benefited 10 schools to make sure that they have these resources. And born to read programs just to make sure that, you know, it is believed that once you start reading from a child, you know, once the mother is pregnant, you develop the love, the passion for books. So we implement the born to read programs to make sure that we develop that passion, you know, right from infancy. Number of libraries, public awareness programs implemented just to conscientize people about the libraries and the work that we do. And 6, an intervention for local emerging authors. 14, this is where we procure. There's a lot of books in the previous financial year that we have procured from local emerging authors. You know, these are people that are beginning to write, they don't have resources, they don't have money. So we assist them, you know, once you've got a book, and then we speak with people who can print it, and they read them, and from there we procure your books. And then this, non-profit organization financially supported. This target was not achieved, but we are very confident. It was mainly because of budget constraints, as this particular target was not achieved, because we had to readjust funds to support other emerging developmental priorities. This responds to actually the archives, our archive, there's no provincial archives in county, in county schools. So the archives to archive all the documents that we have from municipalities. So in terms of the registry inspections, we had achieved 30 that was planned, and public awareness programs conducted. This is about, making people aware that there's an archives. If you've got documents, family tree documents, that you feel that are not safe, and you want to preserve, you want to keep them, touch base with us. There's an archive, it's there. They just come to your house and take your documents and put them there safe. 20, 30, 50 years to come, when your generation needs those documents, they go there, they are safe, and they go and get them there. So this is what the archive does. So we go around and educate people about the work that we do as an archive. It's a very important institution that we need to start using it. The last program, that is program 4, recognition. We see the pictures of the people that participated in our different sporting codes, noting most important the international one, the IBA Cup there. We'll start with sport development and coordination. So the local leagues that are happening, we support local leagues that happen in communities. So we supported about 68 local leagues in different communities in our province, and we trained 733 people just to assist the development department to deliver club development programs. And 271 clubs were provided with equipment and attire. And members of the community would remember when I indicated when I was introducing program 4, that this is where we procure, equipment, attire, to make sure that our children, when they participate in those coming from the different places and stuff like that, they do not feel inferior. So we play that particular part. So the clubs in communities, 271 of those were supported by the department through equipment and or attire. We do employ, create employments in the department, and some coordinators, 12 coordinators were planned to be achieved, but we achieved all of them, but through the passage of time, others resigned, but we are continuing to make sure that we appoint the coordinators to assist the department to implement these programs. And in terms of sport and recreation projects implemented, 5 were planned and they were achieved. And then we look at the athletes supported by the sports academies. This is more at a professional level. We had planned to provide support to 500 sports academies, but we were able to support 941, overachieved by 440. And then the people trained to deliver the sports academy, we train 126 people. So we don't just implement our programs, we train people to assist the department to implement these programs. The sports academy supported with different programs, it's 6, and the OR Tambo Sonchini Games held, it's 6, and the annual Gauteng Sports Awards, it's 1. A number of people benefiting, participating in the Learn to Swim programs. We know that swimming is very important, especially for our children. So 369 people benefited from the Learn to Swim program. And the recreation and the hubs, and I'm sure we've got some of the hubs in this area, we provide hubs with equipment and attire as well. There's about 27 hubs in the entire province, so 27 of them were provided with equipment and attire for their participation in different, competitions. And people trained at Sadlala is 295, an active recreation festival organized for elderly people to make sure that you participate, the elders. we had about 32, and provincial indigenous games supported 34, and active recreation, we're sitting at coordinators 33. And then women in sport, resourced with sport fitness, because we take women in sports very serious. So we are deliberating, making sure that we support women in sport with sport fitness apparels. 1,000 women were supported with sport fitness apparels. Community games supported with equipment and attire. These are games that happen during school holidays. So we supported 9 community games with equipment and attire. And a transfer to the Gauteng Sports Confederation, I introduced them, so we made one transfer to them to assist the department in terms of the implementation of some of the programs. The major events, the competitive sport, the number of sports events, this is to assist not necessarily the department, but even the province, to make sure that the province is profiled at the level at which it can compete, or attract, international events to come into the province. So a number of sport events financially supported. This will be like your international rugby and all others. We supported about 12 of them. And a number of elite women in sports programs financially supported. It's 8. And we've got the iconic annual Mandela Remembrance Walk that was held in Tshwane, and a number of Gauteng-based NFD teams supported. So we supported 4 NFD teams in Gauteng. Previously, we would have supported even PSL, but because of financial resources, we're focusing on the NFD teams. But I think you'll correct me, Chief Director, we have discontinued this output indicator to redirect the funds to some programs. Then school sport, one of the nerve center of sport development in the country or in any country. We provide schools again. Earlier on, I spoke about clubs, I spoke about hubs. Now I'm talking about schools that we provide with equipment and attire to make sure that our kids, they've got the required equipment and attire to participate. So 462 schools were provided with equipment and or attire in the province. Schools participating in the school sport programs, we've got 1,147 schools that participate, because if our school sport programs, it's inactive, it's dysfunctional, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. We therefore cannot anticipate the national teams to perform better. So we need to make sure that we invest a lot at this particular level, at the school level, so that our children, when they begin to participate at a professional level, they are well grounded. So we invest a lot in the school sport program as a province. There are school sport leagues that we support in across the province. So out of the 108 of those that we wanted to support, we supported 208. And the non-fee paying schools to participate in the Sport Wednesday programs, 409 non-fee paying schools were supported. So you therefore understand the investment that as a province we're making, especially the school sport programs, to make sure that we keep our children away from, negative, environment, and bring them into the space where they can engage and develop, their talents in the sporting space. In terms of the sporting ambassadors, program supported, it's 5. A number of learners supported to participate in the national school sport champions. This is where now they begin to go at a national level to participate or to compete, with other learners from other provinces. We supported 694 learners, from Gauteng to participate in the national school sport champions. And then I can tell that they performed extremely well. We carried the day. Gauteng won a lot of sporting codes on this competition. And then 48 school sport coordinators were appointed. A number of people trained to deliver schools program. We trained 541 people just to deliver school sport programs, of course, in partnership with the Department of Education and the different schools around the province. I think that is overall the performance of the department in the 24-25 financial year. With your permission, HOD Chair, can I allow the acting CFO to present on the financials? Thank you.
Would be allowed, Chair, as we're waiting for the CFO to take place. I'm trying to pull out all what was impactful for this community and Tshwane in general, what the department do for this community, because the report is broadly talking about Gauteng, but it might be important to sum up what has been impactful here, what has department do for this community. And Chair, perhaps even before we go for questions later on, we'll have to break down what has been the issue about this community. Part of what we have discovered, Chair, and if you allow me, there's a gap in how department works with what we'll call minority communities. And we want to give attention to that we don't have a situation where a government department has left out other communities. It's only people of a particular race. So if you have to be blunt, you can't establish a black government and leave other communities to do. So we also say, how do we get all communities to reflect in government? But also programs of government, how they play themselves out. In the report I have Lodium in the Northern Corridor. What do we do for the libraries? What do we do for their sports? And we have to break it down to that point so that when we go to a community, Chair, we don't just talk about Kagiso and people can't relate with Kagiso, but they should relate with what they know and what the department is doing exactly what is promising to do. Perhaps later on, we should break it down to that level. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's around 12:30. HOD Chair and the rest of the honorable members, all protocol observed. I think Ntate Ndlovu has already done the extensive greetings and the acknowledgements. It's already supported. I'm here to do the financial information report for the year 2024-25. The audit results, the current slide show as the audit results for 24-25. We received a qualified audit outcome, which was quite a transgression, which we really declined from the previous years, and it's something which the department is really not proud of. It was due to the lack of financial oversight and governance, but under the leadership of our MEC, Matumu and our acting HOD, Mr. Nawa, we are really committed under their leadership to overturn this situation. Out of the department's budget, the allocation was $1,700,000, of which only $1,057,000 was spent, 94%, and the 59 million was not spent, which amounted to 5.3%. The following slides will be on departmental revenue, departmental expenditure, irregular, unauthorized, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, and other information. As previously indicated on the previous slide, that out of the budget of $1,117,000,000, we managed to spend $1,057,000,000, which was, we had an under expenditure of 59 million. On the slide on receipts, on this one, we are not so much a department which is revenue driven. Our revenue, we derive our revenue from parking fees, commission on garnishee orders, and also debt collection. from the debts owned by employees. When we compare with the previous year, during 2023-24, we estimated to collect 394,000, but we ended up collecting with an over collection of 716,000. And also during the current year, the year under review 24-25, we estimated to collect 411,000, but we ended up collecting 558,000. And that's made up of the sale of goods and services other than capital assets, interest, dividends, and rent on land, financial transactions in assets and liabilities. On the breakdown of the departmental expenditure, in overall, when we compare with the previous year, 2023-24, 23-24, we had a final appropriation of $1,022,000, and we spent $1,058,000, and we had an under expenditure of 64 million. When we compare with the current year, we had a final appropriation of $1,001,000, and we spent $1,057,000, and on which we had an under expenditure of 59 million. Even though the under expenditure of any amount is not really something to be proud of, but there was a decline on the under expenditure from the 64 million then to the 59 million. From the under expenditure of 59 million, it was the 5.3% of the budget. And this is mainly due to the late procurement of the goods and services, as well as in the execution of the infrastructure projects. And also on this point is something also which also the acting HOD is really paying attention to. Our infrastructure projects have been a sore point for some time, and we are working very hard together with our counter department, DID. Departmental expenditure as per economic classification, we have current payments, we have transfers and subsidies, we have payments for capital assets. And out of that, that's the breakdown that as we compare to the previous financial year, 2023-24, from the current payments, we had an under expenditure of 43 million. From the budget which was allocated of 680 million, we spent 648 million. And during the current financial year, we spent from the budget of 708 million, we had an actual expenditure of 660 million. From the transfers and subsidies, as we compare with the previous financial year, the budget was 378 million and we spent 377 million. And within the current financial year, from the budget of 352 million, we spent 344 million. On payment for capital assets, last year financial year, we had a budget of 63 million and we spent 32 million. For this year, we had a budget of 55 million and we spent 52 million. On irregular expenditure, during the year under review, there was an irregular expenditure of 3 million, which consisted of transactions that were identified by the Auditor General as splitting with intention to avoid a tender process. And also this is another point which the acting HOD really is paying attention to, because this was due to the fact that we didn't have a panel of service providers and we were working towards establishing ones. And where we can, we are trying to also participate within the other transversal tenders which are there or within other the organs of state where we can also determine the participation. Unauthorized expenditure, the department did not incur any unauthorized expenditure under the period under review. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure, the department incurred 3 million in fruitless and wasteful expenditure in the 24-25 financial year. 2.9 million is due to the payment of a court order to reimburse the claims for legal costs incurred. 45,000 for a payment to a service provider for the cancellation of the service when the costs were already incurred. and 29,000 was for interest paid on overdue accounts. On the financial and procurement information, the department achieved 99% on the 30-day payments, of which 79% of the payments were processed within 15 days. We are also ensuring that we really move also the 15 days payment to a higher percentage towards the 100%. And at the moment, indeed, the department is performing well in terms of the 15 days payments. And we adhere to submission of all the PFMA reports under Section 40 on the 30-day, 15-day payments, and the in-year monitoring reports and the interim financial statements. When it comes to the spending, the department spent 44% on women-owned companies, and here we have a target of 40%. So we did go over the percentage a bit. And also on youth-owned companies, the target there is 30%, and we achieved 44%. And also under the youth, for people with disabilities, the percentage is 7%, and we managed to also spend we reached the target of 7%, even though it's our desire to ensure that we also go over the set targets. And on 3% for the military veterans, we also managed to spend the 3%, even though we also aim here, we're working hard also to ensure that we also go over this percentage. And for procurement from township business, we spent 69% for the period under review. Thank you, that's where it ends. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Can I suggest that you take the questions, just write them down? We will take the next presentation, HOD, from the Gauteng Film Commission, so that after this presentation, we will then give yourselves an opportunity to ask questions, and also the committee. I know we have had a chance to scrutinize the reports on the 28th of the October, and we sent the questions to the department already on the same reports. So what we'll do, because we received the responses yesterday, if you have any follow-up also, you'll be given an opportunity for that. But let's take the presentation from the Gauteng Film Commission, and then we can then start on questions. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Dumelang Thobela. Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Mac Mokhoba, Senior Manager at the Gauteng Film Commission. I'm joined by the other executive team members. The CFO, Mr. Elliot Malulega, please do rise, sir. Thank you. Mutamisheng, Mr. Figamate, Acting Corporate Services. Thank you, as well as our communications team, led by the manager, Inano Mutibi and Zondile. Thank you. Chair, today we will be indeed tabling the GFC, the annual report, and the performance therein. Starting, and I will indeed try run through as quick as possible, as towards the end, we would like to indeed showcase a brief highlights video of the work that has been done by the Commission in supporting the industry. As part of the overview of the GFC, because indeed in most community engagements, we do find that we are not well articulated in terms of the services that the GFC does, We are tasked with developing the industry in terms of the audiovisual sector, and we do operate under the oversight of the Department of Arts and Culture. However, in the past year, we have been in transition to be registered as a public entity, and indeed, this process is still ongoing. Also, just to highlight in terms of the budget did also significantly increase in this year due to the additional funding that was received for the Discover Summit festival. The GFC has also heeded the call to implement its program within the township and informal settlements that was as part of the provincial plan priorities. But moreover, we are also trying to indeed, with the limited funds that we have, implement programs across the 5 regions. Moving straight to the performance of the entity. Overall, the GFC achieved 87% of the set target. And for Program 1, which is our industry support, where we do our production funding, our skills development training, our audience, as well as enterprise development and mentorship programs. This is the Program 1, which is industry support. We also managed to achieve 82%. For Program 2, which was marketing and communication, where we support programs with and even our productions to take their projects to market and to premiere their projects, as well as those who are also wanting to go to festivals. We achieved 75% of the set targets. And then lastly, for support and administration, which is indeed our back office, we were able to achieve all our targets. Of the 4 targets, I'll just highlight them in brief. The number of permits and locations facilitated with municipalities. We had set a target of 500 and achieved 477. This was a deviation of 23. And this was as a result of indeed the inconsistent production that we had received in terms of applications, and also the processing of these applications that we sent through to the local authorities. Then under skills development, the number of graduate interns supported in partnership with the CETA, we had set a target of 25 and achieved 11. And the deviation was 14, and this was also due to some of the interns not being able to complete or exiting the program and finding better job opportunities. In terms of number of, still under skills development, number of individuals trained through accredited programs, we had set a target of 195. And only 103 were supported. And this underachievement was due to the projects also having much less participants than projected. We have taken note of this, and in implementing programs in this year, we have stipulated that those who are seeking funding and support from the GFC need to ensure that they meet those quotas. Then in terms of outbound mission supported, this is our market access initiative. We had set a target of 3 missions. This is to go to various markets, especially on an international platform. We achieved 2 of this, and this was also due to some of the delays in the approval, as it does need to go to EXCO for approval. We have also reviewed this target going forward in terms of more focusing on taking our creatives to these markets and being able to go and showcase their work, but they would need to indeed be invited and have the necessary completed projects to go showcase at these international festivals. If I can just touch on some of the key, before we show the highlights and move to finances, just some of the projects where we indeed have been able to meet the target or excel, and which were implemented within the regions. Starting with the documentaries, we supported 6 documentaries as planned, and these include various types of short-form documentaries from Breaking Free, Spirit, The Unforeseen, and Living with Glaucoma, because we wanted to indeed be able to support and really communicate some of our social challenges through these documentaries. When it comes to feature films, we supported 4 feature films over and above the set target of 3, and this included 30 frames, which followed the life story of one of the renowned photographers, Oscar Guterres, who also was able to capture pictures of Madiba since 1994. We also supported Amapiano dance culture, which is a featured documentary which highlights indeed the phenomenal revolution that the Amapiano has been indeed taking the world, and how it influences fashion, style, as well as social media. Moving to heritage and historic production supported, the GFC was able to support projects such as the Mansonville missteps. This indeed depicts the life and times that the much less known township of Mansonville in the West Rand. Also supported the documentary or the heritage musical called Sigelela, which is the story of Enoch Sontonga, which also just, we're proud to say, recently premiered this past weekend. And this really, as those who might not know, Enoch Sontonga was one of the founders who wrote the national anthem, and Nkosi Sikelel' Africa. In terms of digital content, we supported Simple Secrets, Vuga Ekasi, Afrikwan, just to name a few. These are indeed short-form digital projects that we are anticipating will be indeed either making themselves into series or in terms of audience development, the number of individuals reached through audience development projects, set target was 7,500. We indeed overachieved by 7,836. And this was really large to our drive to support projects that could be able to reach as many audiences. These were festivals, local community cinema clubs, which took place, for instance, the cinema club, which took place in the city of Joburg, which was also had a workshop and speakers on career awareness and youth empowerment. Also, with this target, we were able to support the Sharpeville Human Rights Festival in the South Corridor, and also the Deep Sleuth screening and community engagement. These are just a few of the 13 projects supported within audience development. Then in terms of emerging enterprises supported, we will showcase, this was supported, 28 were supported. with the overachievement of 3. And this was due to the focus on supporting the schools of specialization, such as Pro Arte, where we also hosted the handover ceremony here in Tshwane in the North Corridor. We also supported the winner of one of the Joburg Film Festival, and therefore really making sure that we provide equipment and enterprise development to our creatives. Honorable members, we've also, moving to the post-production and editing research facilities, we had set a target of 75 and achieved 80. And this was due to the workshop and the focus intervention that we had in Q4, where we supported a masterclass just specifically on editing, because we find that a lot of our creatives are able to book and access, but require the necessary skill to edit. We do need to note, honorable members and community, that the centers in the West Corridor at the Kagiso Monument, as well as the Women's Living Monument, are still not operational, and we are engaging with the department and really looking forward to these being opened, as there is some equipment already procured for there that needs to be open so that the community and our creatives can utilize. Moving to number of productions supported with distribution and marketing. We had set a target of 5 and achieved this. This was the supporting of 4 projects, Face Deep, Little Girls, Fortunes Full, as well as Lady in Yellow. These all received support in terms of showcasing their projects and premiering them. And then the last one, the 5th one, was the Queens of Hustle. This was the BET supported female-driven television series, Pound for Pound, which deals with boxing and having the dynamics that happen in terms of recruiting as well as keeping talented boxers. This was season 1, which was premiered on BET. Then in terms of strategic partnerships and collaborations between investors and to support the local audiovisual businesses, we had a range of partnerships from broadcast platforms that have just been mentioned, the BET, support for, as well as partnerships with industry associations in order to indeed leverage on the work that they are doing, such as in script writing, so that indeed we're able to both reach our targets, but also have focused and seasoned people implementing those projects on behalf of the entity. Moving to percentage generated from strategic partnerships, the set target was 5% of the GFC allocation, which is 40 million. We actually achieved 6.5 of this, and this was due to indeed the amount generated from also the partnerships we had from the Discover Summit. In terms of number of crew graded and added to the audiovisual database, the set target was 500, we achieved 635, and this was really due to also having partners who were able to share, and the production companies to share the crew that could indeed be profiled and added to this database so that they can be able to get more work and international exposure. In terms of tracking our core budget and versus operational expenditure, the set target was to have a ratio of 1:38% going into the core. However, we did overachieve this by having 51% going into core, and this was due to the support of the summit, Discover Summit. Then in terms of unqualified audit outcome, GFC was indeed able to have an unqualified audit outcome and a clean audit as a result of tracking the audit outcome and recommendations. In terms of implementing an ICT master plan and having a set target of 40% of projects contributing to digital transformation, GFC was able to achieve 55% contributing to digital transformation of projects and automating some of its processes. Then in terms of percentage of employees receiving training, from the set target of 60%, of which GFCA was able to achieve 80%. This was due to also having a broader group training to, such as the cyber awareness training that was hosted by the GFC. Then in terms of governance implementing King 4 governance and leadership principles, this target was reduced to 50% due to the governance challenges that GFC had and the less board meetings that were hosted. However, due to the reporting that was provided to the oversight and to the MECs, we were able to achieve 61% based on the reports and the supporting documentation provided to the oversight bodies. Then in terms of, just as some of the highlights, just briefly, we can play the reel instead of going through. We have added the highlights that are part of the handouts.
Greetings everyone, we're coming to you live from Central Convention Center.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. Really, this highlights clip is also as per direction by the HOD, who has indicated that indeed a picture does tell 1,000 words, and we as the entity and the department need to showcase our work. And indeed, we have been able to show from the Discover Summit, the master classes we had, as well as the festivals that we were able to attend, both in Durban and Fame Week, whereby we also were able to take some of the industry practitioners and content creators to attend these. And lastly, also to have the Joburg Film Festival, which is indeed one of our signature festivals, really that takes place here in Gauteng, be able to really showcase the work that took place there. With that, I will request the CFO to come forward and take the committee and the community just to outline the financial performance of the entity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairperson, members of the committee, our HOD, and our stakeholders. Dumelang. Letsoile. Awa, re a leboga. I'm just going to take the meeting through our 2024-2025 financial report. In terms of Business Unit 1, Industry Support and Development, we budgeted 13.9 million and we spent 13.5 million. Business Unit 2, Marketing and Communication, we budgeted 13.5 million, we spent 13 million. Business Unit 3, Information Technology, we budgeted 742,000, we spent 702. Business Unit 4, Human Resources, we budgeted 345,000, we spent 619. Business Unit 5, Legal and Governance, we budgeted 572, we spent 1.9. Business Unit 6, Advocacy and Strategy Development, budgeted 825, we spent 590. Business Unit 7, Management of GFC, we budgeted 20 million, we spent 20.9. Overall, we had a budget of 50 million, just over 50 million. I think the significant increase is due to the 10 million that we received from Treasury as additional budget through the budget adjustment process. So in total, we had a budget of just over 50 million. We spent 51.3 million, and we're out by 1.2 million. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. HOD, I don't know, you had made mention of the summary of Tshwane presentation, so I don't know. Before we take on questions, just to have that, please.
Afternoon, honorable members of the committee, our HOD, to the members of the community that are here. I am not alone. The head of corridor, Me Dipuo Moropa, She's the face that you will know better than myself in terms of the specific programs that we do have within Tshwane. Within sports and recreation, we've got 4 programs as it was indicated. We have your recreation, we have the sports development and coordination, we have school sport, and what we call major events. This is in terms of, we're not going to present, Ma'am Dipuo, we just need to highlight what it is that we do locally. Just in terms of the community, the 4 programs that we have are what we call a pathway that leads to the top. How we find the champions that come from within Tshwane and many other communities in Gauteng. We've got the hub that is based here at Lodium. It services 4 other areas in Region 4, which is Olive and Oat, Bosch, Centurion, as well as Lodium. Within that, we also have various colleagues that would be then delivering the services that we have with sports and recreation. I'm going to give my colleague so that she can give an overview of all the programs that we have, including the arts and culture programs.
Good morning, honorable members, HOD, my colleagues. My name is Dipuo Moropa. I'm the director in the North Corridor, which is Tshwane region. Our offices are based in East Lane. And in Region 4, which is Lodium and Itireleng, we have a hub that is servicing sports and recreation and art and culture here in Lodium and Itireleng. Our hub is in Lodium Stadium. The responsible people there is Seko, Lugayeni, and Innocent Komu. I hope those who are mainly active in sports, they will be able to know what I'm talking about. We have a very good relationship, HOD members and the chairperson of the committee with the Itireleng community as well as the Lodium. And we also service one of the schools that is doing sports and recreation here, which is Rosina Sidibane. That school is the school that is supporting us in terms of sports development in the Lodium and Itireleng. During the financial year 2025-2026, our first in Q1 indigenous games was held here in Region 4 at Lodium Stadium. Last year, 2024-2025, we supported the community games here in Lodium. And we also had a fun run and a fun walk in Q2 around September. And last week, we were distributing equipment and attire for shelters. One of the shelters here in Lodium in Itireleng have received equipment and attire. And we also have school sports where we normally use Rosina Sidibana HOD for any sporting activities around here because it's one of the school which has very well looked after fields as well as equipments that we need and the facilities for sports, as well as the Lodium Stadium is the stadium that we normally use. We also had a golf clinic around Q2. Our CD, Pilisande, was there. She can attest to that. We had a golf clinic here in Lodium, Region 4 at Rosina Sidibane Secondary School. What I can safely say, we support the community of Lodium and Itireleng and Oliven Bosch around the surrounding of Region 4 in the city of Tshwane. That I can say in a nutshell. Thank you very much, Chief Director.
Thank you. Just in closing, I know Lodium is also a cricket community. We just wanted to congratulate our ladies Proteas. They were second, but we are very proud of them. They're coming back today, so I hope you'll be cheering them along as they land. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are now on item 6, which will be facilitated by my fellow honorable member, Member Shabalala, of questions and clarity seeking question and any other. We have in our midst, which I omitted to introduce, the Sports Confederation and its regional structure of Tshwane present with us. My apology. So I will be handing over to Member Chabalala to facilitate the next session. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Sanmonani, dumelang hape. I got a lot of it. But I get a fever. Yeah. All right. Okay. Ska Chair has a abuile. Now my role is to facilitate input yalona, the stakeholders, maybe suggestions, frustrations, the department. This is how we're going to do this. Each and every one, we're going to allocate 2 minutes for you to speak. But if you feel the speaker before you has addressed your issues, so there is no need for you to stand up and also make contributions. I think after your contributions and inputs, we'll also give the HOD maybe to come and respond or give a summary in relation to what you would have inputted on this session. So we are going to start on my left. Those who are interested, you need to raise your hands so that we can note you, and then from the left we'll come to this side, and then in the middle, then we'll end this side. So, and those who are going to speak, would request that you come. Once we note you, you come to the front. You make your inputs, and also let us limit ourselves to the presentations that were made by the department. Can I start taking hands from this side? Okay, you got them in front. So we only have one person from this side. Okay, can come. No, I'm coming this side. Let me finish with this side. So from this side, we only have 2 people. This side, here in the middle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You can come to the front. Okay, on my right hand side. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, thank you. You can join other stakeholders that side. Okay, 4. All right, you can come this side so that we see you. Okay, Manu, 2 minutes. You can give the first speaker the mic. Thank you.
Sanibonani mphakathi waseTshwane. Lo okhulumayo uSandra wakamgwenya from plot 123 Lowfontein. Ukusukuma kwami la ngime la nginesikhalo lesake sasileya ku legislature. I think it was 2022 until 2023. Sacela ku HOD Mr. China Mashinini. Waleta province, waleta national lebeyiholwa ngu Mr. Fani Mkwena. So sasikhala ngeground plot 123 Lowfontein. kwatholakala ukuthi i-ground it's a private land. But lucky kwatholakala ukuthi the owner of the plot ukhona kuleyo meeting. Sabe siyamcela ukuthi akakhulume ukuthi i-ground yayithengisa or kanjani. Kwathola ukuthi i-ground uyapha ngayo esichabeni. So base sebesithembisa ke ukuthi bazoza baletha insiza zabantwana zokudlala nokuthi bangasiza kanjani eLowfontein. So ngicela ukwazi ukuthi ngabe iletha leshoyo ukuthi i-ground ngele community anitholanga na liyafikela ezandleni zaPitso Mchabi. So ileso isikhalo sami ukuthi legislature please ake nike ni promise niphinde nenze ifezeko ngoba khona manje namhlanje nje ngize ne-youth i-youth ukuthi izokhona ukuzwa ukuthi ngabe ningabasiza ngani. Okugcina ngiyacela legislature lungisani indaba ye-transport sifike late la okuningi asikuzwanga. So please siyacela uma nilungisa i-transport lama driver or lama association akabambe isikhathi sifuna ukuzozwa lathi nikhuluma ngani ngoba nize kithi anizanga kwabanye abantu kumele ukuthi sinilalele. Ngiyabonga.
Dumelang baholo. I am Moke Thapelo Siabi from Garankuwa, COO of Safe Minings. Kenale problem. Kitwa Garankuwa. Ale we say loka Garankuwa indigenous games together le mabopane or sashankuve. Hauna any activity alete alebole le selo. And now good lega financial report. Renako herefa financial report hona le batho ba mo motseng ba ilong hore ra ba involve. So ne ke batlo itse hore he lira financial report ya lena ka he le biditse setšhaba yana ke mamohara setšhaba o ne le mmitsa o na emetse setšhaba mo o leng hore he ne lira financial report a ka fa bopaki ba hore ke nnete tšhelete e berekile so. I doubt that thing. Sa bobedi I feel horribly incompetent, hence little management. Because of Samatom, me o bolela nnete ha bolela ka taba transport. You failed just for a small thing to pay or organize transport in time. Then rona tsentse re ipatlela transport go bathong and then re lebe ho kara a re itlhalohanya. And as batho ba botlhe ba leng a re itlhalohanya. Sa bofelo ne kopo botsisa mo hara rona batho ba le mo ke mangila benefit towards what they've been saying here ka di big budgets 30 million. Ne kopela no emisa tswara I've benefited from that. Thank you. Ke sho ha teng.
Dumelang ba botlhe. Oale Moki Frida Mudiselle. I'm a theater and film practitioner. I also work with young people. It's interesting that Khobulediwa budget e ilong hore rena as the creative we don't know anything about. Like koma bopane ko ke nnang ko teng. There are programs tse ilong hore ra di utlwa di irahala ko Joburg, not ko Tshwane. No hunale a program called Basetsana workshop that was catering for women and the LGBTIQ. It can say it's why, it can say it's why is Klolo Elite because they benefit a lot of young directors and script writers. Again, Renale a program called Yas Harun. For me, I feel like it's not benefiting the young creatives in the schools because and then those kids, they don't benefit anything because I'm one of the directors. I always complain, what is the point of having this program if the kids are not going to be benefiting anything from it? So as a department, organize yourself, and come to the communities because we have community artists that are not benefiting from your programs. Thank you.
Dumelang. I'm not hearing anything. Dumelang. Lekai. Our thing. Wa bolela mo ke moruti SM Makena from Crime Makena Foundation. Na ke tla ke le ko Soshanguve, ko plekeng e ba e bitsang ba re ke Juku Lane. Modimo a nthuse. Hallelujah. Re na le probleme ya gore re na le di-venue tse 3. Re na le Acacia Town Hall, re na le Soshanguve Community Hall, re na le Block X Community Hall. Di dilapidated, a di servisiwe, and di inaccessible. Community ya rona, especially ko ke tswang ko teng, cannot access the facilities tse di agilwe mo community ya bona. So ne ke batla o itse gore what are you doing to remedy the situation? Ka baka la 80% ya youth ya rona ba unemployed, ha ba sebetse. They cannot afford to pay for the venue tse di erectilweng mo di communities tsa bona. Number 2, ra le di programs, ha rena di programs tse le di bolelang gore di teng from the communities like tsa mo Lodiamo, tsa di golf and what. We don't even have sports se ka reng se active ko re nakwa. But we hear the budget tse kgolo tsa di millions that have been allocated for such programs. So we want to know gore he le bolela ka Tshwane, are you including us now as Soshanguve, or you are only maybe referring to Bolodiam and other specific places? Ka baka la go bolela nnete, rena we haven't seen anything from the department. Bana ba rona ba bolaya ke dinyaope, girls are falling pregnant because there are no activities ka mole. It's like we are forgotten, only to be remembered ka nako ya di vote. Thank you.
Dumela, nna ka lebitso ke Strike Moshe, ke tswa ke le ko Winterfeld. Firstly, coming to this venue, you realize how our government has failed us as practitioners. Ho tla go di holong tsa rena, o no bona hore never know hore ba tswe mo rena. So I'm saying hore as a department, our venues, you can't even host an event ka mara yona because ho thoma ore ashe ke eco fela. Then holy kamo you can see it means that our government is able to can assist. So I was saying our government go and look at the venues tsa rena tse di ahileng ko makeisheneng. You can't even have a theater or something kamola because nobody venue fela ki di hall. And secondly, I realize no man, the real beneficiaries but this budget are not here. But ba ba leng ka mo ha una wa kileng a benefit aselo. Because what we have realized ke hore budget iteng mara na ritso re ya kae. So we are asking to mo arnya go bolela ka Tshwane yona are no tlohelang shem. Masipala wa rena are no tlohelang o apallwa. So ne re kopa department ya province ya rena hore re kopa province hore re kopela hore budget it's almost the same people who benefit. Na ke mo creative arts who benefit batho ba ba one. Always every year the budget dia ko bathong ba ritseng hore ba tlo di kry. There is no need for them to apply. So what we are saying ke hore ne re kopa hore department a etswe ba re hona le selo ba re ke visibility. Department e etsang hore batho ba itse hore hona le di tšhelete ba ka di accessa byang. Accessibility ya department batho ba itse byang hore department ba e kry kae ba kry tšhelete ko kae. Because arts e tlhoka hore e sponsoriwe. Wa bona HOD, you can look, these are the masses. These are your masses HOD. But they are not getting anything. It's only the same people year in, year out who get funded. The real beneficiaries, but this budget, they are not here. So ne re kopa hore a ho be accessible hore re kry budget. Re itse hore le latella ko kae. Because Tshwane yona e re feitse a ro bolela ka bona, re tla bolela le ba Gauteng. Thank you.
Dumela, le kae? Oe mopele ke class Thomas Mahlangu, well known as Tiger Scandaf, Karkitlako Scandaf. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a chairman of South African Film Empowerment, which has recently benefited from Gauteng Film Commission. I've been trying to apply for funding from various institutions. It's a film, but ke palletse. Then tsatsile I sat down. I said, no, there's Gauteng Film Commission. Then I applied. Then I got funding. And to my surprise, I thought maybe you need a connection, but to Gauteng Film Commission, only by complying, you'll get the whatever you want. So, and also the city of Tshwane, though financially they were not helping, but with their facilities and leading all on Bartusa. Bartusa biang, I'm training, me and my colleagues, we are training in a film industry, we are training them to write script, to act, to be behind the scene and everything. And then we supervise them after with hands-on experience. Supervise. Then after supervising them to create their own film, we take that film to television. So the challenge now is funding. And since GFC is funded, we narrate a film each and every month. And then GFC is each and every month. So nakia kopela the stakeholders said we can spend at least 200,000 a month for a film that we can create a month. So nakite kopela 2.4 million for the whole year. It's a film each and every month. For its job creation, it's skill development, hands-on experience, and job creation at the same time. I've even sold one of my cars last time. Mr. Strike Moshe can attest to that because Kianan creating Bayara. Karekisa koloi so that they can finish a film project because Rasaletsem Rao. And then also the GFC Yartusaka studio sasa editing. Ne? I'm editing Gauteng Film Commission, the film series. Li ever funding kayona the unforeseen. So now the unfortunate part is that asere ina fela ribukang studio. When you get to the system, there are productions that in tailoring the bookile zone. And then you are unable or so you book 3 days, you'll wait another month, happy, and then you are stuck. If we can get equipment and 2.4 million, I'm definitely sure Hormo Gauteng, retro some mereko each and every month what the film. Kialebo.
Dumelang kaofela, lebitso ke Zaid Jacobs, ke tlhaga ke le ko Winterveld. I'm part also of Soulsville, Atteridgeville, Arts and Culture Forum, and also Winterveld Arts and Culture Recreational Forum. Ke lebohela opportunity le re fileng hore re tle re tlo bolela se re se bolelang. Yet I'm just asking for hore lebele a consciousness ya hore utlwella ka nnete to take this thing as a cry out, because more nnang mo teng ke mo di cousin tsa lona di tlhanko teng ba bang, ke mo ba bang ba lona le tlo tla ntjatji le leng le tlo etela ba ko lona. Crime is serious. Hona le lo tse ntshi tse re ka di bolelang hore di out of line. So in this regard is that I'm very thankful for Gauteng. Last year they granted us under granting aid for something for our program. Our program nearly in 2 sectors. It was arts, like your visual arts, and then a digital space, which it was combining graphics. It could help somebody to seek a job from the spaza or the other saloons or a baba droele, baba etsetse paperwork, things like that. And it was an introduction that was going there. And we had, I think, an overall of 80% of women in that program, which one was our project manager. So the thing is that I'm not sure, I wish I could be answered quickly. The 53 million that I saw, was it a deficit or was it an over budget? Like, how did it come about? I just gave you a lot. It was over, or it was a shortfall. I kitsure ke e berekileng over or ke e seleng ya sala. Oh, ke Gauteng. Yeah, no, Gauteng Arts and Culture. Yeah. Nele ko tlase, nele e setse. A ke utlwisisa.
Sorry?
Okay. No, what I wanted to say.
Sorry?
Okay.
Re kopa o ska o address o ska bana le decide meeting tsa o address the individuals. Thank you.
No, where I was going with is that if it was over budget, no, it's fine. But if le spendile and then wasala something, the reason that I'm asking this is that with what we've asked last year, they've cut our budget. And again, we came on with another collection, with another facility, called National Heritage. They also said there's no budget that's enough for this year. So that's why I was asking, hona le tšhelete e berekisiwang yet, ba re hona le tšhelete e setseng. It's like it's ridiculous, because every time you apply, then they say budget high day. That's why I wanted to ask to just quick clarification. Yeah, I wasn't wasting time. So another thing is that lastly, I would ask again, grants in aid this year, for this year and last year, this year, we also continue that program because programmery it's digital. It should be continuous. Yet retenete and then retenete with a company that's a woman empowered like Musadi. It's Sabawa. If you can check it out, ke Sabawa. Azanga any response, and as Gauteng, you don't have an online where we can see where our things are going. Like if we can ask, we don't have any portal. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Lloyd Mamfe from Attersville. I am the very last professional boxer who emerged from Attersville. Attersville, you should know, it's a very small township. When I say I'm the very last professional boxer to emerge from that township, if you can check with Boxing South Africa or on the records on Boxing South Africa for the professional boxers who hail from Attersville, I don't think we are even more than 10. And I'm the very last one. Meaning that if I'm saying we are not more than 10, I'm speaking about the earlier ones who started professional boxing from the early 50s, the late 50s, Pontate Matolong. And then now luckily, when I grew up and started having interest in participating in boxing, nearby there was a boxing gym, a well-equipped boxing gym at the, what we call now Mbolekwa Hall. Mbolekwa Hall, before it was built to how it is at the moment, it used to be a boxing gym. But unfortunately, that very same boxing gym, the municipality by then felt it, that there was cracks on the walls of those of that gym. So the gym, as a result, it was demolished to make way for a new structure that was going to be built. The new structure, which is today called Mbolekwa Hall. Mbolekwa Hall, but it has been designed in such a way that it's a gymnasium. It's not a hall, like the very same hall that we are inside at the moment, which has got windows. The Mbolekwa Hall that I'm talking about, it doesn't even have a single window. It's only the shutter doors, roller doors, yeah. To show that the design of this thing is a gymnasium meant for the continuation of that very same boxing structure that was demolished. So the current Mbolekwa Hall, it was making way for the demolished boxing gym. But unfortunately, it's not the same the case anymore. The facility is used as a function venue for the funerals.
Okay, sorry, Papa. As we wrap up,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the opportunity that I'm using now is for the municipality to maybe address the issue. Boxing at the moment, it has gone to the demise. Boxing in Atris Village, it has died down due to the lack of the facility whereby we can train the kids. So maybe if the municipality can do something to allocate us a venue or a facility where we can train boxers. Thank you.
Thank Batswadi ba tlo bua after. Ne re kopa re keep nako ya 2 minutes. A re straight to the point, so that the department le yona e understand re se ke ra ya lolololo. Ke a leboha.
Ke a dumedisa. Eish. Ke a le dumedisa kaofela. Bagaetsho. A ke tsore ke reng ke no ba fela ke bile ke tshuhile. Nna ke bitsiwa Snajo ke tswa ke le Hammanskraal, Region 2. Le nna ke leboha hore ka tshego ke khonne go ba mo ke tlo bona baeteledipele ba ba rona ba ba national, because ke khale re batla gore re ba bone face to face. People, nane ke khopela national thusanang le province ka re ke bona ba ba re itseng. Hana neng ke utlwile le bua ka ditšhelete tse lo reng di a tshosa, tse lo reng nna letsatsi la motlholo nna 16 since ke thomo acta ka 1989 go fitlha le ka tsheko a ke itse le khowane mare department a inkitse le center ya bona a ke itse. But he ba re tlhoka ke ba teng, he ba re tlhoka ke ba teng le ana bane ke tlile le batho ba region 2 re tleditse dikhumbi re 2 ka mo khumbi tse tharo ebile re ba teng for support go thusa gore lena lo a bereka ape here le sola shoota batho ba bona re go a berekiwa then el boela moralo re la bona re thusa batho ba shiba ba go Tshwane region 2 ba bona re go a berekiwa and which is true then tšhelete e tlotswa because go a berekiwa tšhelete e tswile mo ka lebella ha teng lo mo one la 100,000 ha teng or 50,000 or 20,000 ha ba yo di artists tse di kran di tšhelete tseo ha di teng mo ka tšeko but ke rona ba re leng teng because re supporta di artists le mekhatlo e leng teng re elo re ke yona e khonang go amela tšhelete e go bona di tšhelete di atla di ya ko mekhatlong rena he re ra applya di a buya go tlile motlhokong wa o fitileng ke applyile ba re no era amount ya hao ka etsa ka romela you know what ya faila ile bya go ka phone ka lwa le bona a ke re lwa le bona ka di phone re le bone then ba bolella gore no go shota eng he ke ba bontsha gore na ntho ke di rometse but a ka e kry-a that money ke ne ke ile go ira festival ya di legend ka re nna ke rata di legend ka re le nna ko mogolo a kere nka se binele bo mapiano dilo tsa ka tšeko dilo tsa ma 2000 la bona and then bana ba banyane ke ira di Sarafina always ke ba trainer ge re tswa sekolo ko gae then proof ya dilo tseo ke nna ke tlhala le mo dikurante le ka tšeko a shit
Okay, papa.
ke kopela please le re biditse re fentšhantshenyana ke a le kopela le re biditse re fentšhantse all right bahaitso ba re biditsa kere gore re tle re tlo ntsha botlhoko ba rena so please ha re bua re utlwelleng gore le re bolela gore re dilo tse re di bolela a le re utlwe ha le fetsa lena la saena lena la gola ha nanong ke December rena self hana banu rena le di event a re sa di kry nna ke bereka thata ko dikolo ke a utlwa le re lefa batho dikolo le etsa eng ke bereka most ko dikolo mara ke re ke applya dilo tse gore ke kgone gore le nna ke kry ba batla paperwork e le gore ga ona yona ka re le rena ke re rena sekolong a re tlhae re batho ba le ba kgala ke ha re tlhae ba o botsa dilo tse di ntse le gore o ka se di tlhalwanye gore ke eng o tlatsa o tladitse e bo feletse o ngadile so ne ke kgopela a ke gane please re no bolelang ganyane motlhamong e tla re he le tlogamo nna re berekisana le province e re thuse di legend ne re rile ya di legend ko gae ko Hammanskraal ko Holong re kreile di trophy imagine re khona go khopela di donation mo di company tsa di po di femeng ko rena kwa ba re fa go reke di trophy di legend di teng ko morakwa ba no ba ne ba mpuisa gore ba tle le di trophy tseo ba kreile trophy company engwe ya bupi batho utlwa botlhoko ya bupi he ba re fa di trophy tsela ba ba re thusitse ke ba province ba lo re ile ra ba kopa batla ba ene ba nkgatla ka gore ba khona tla le mo re dula ba bona mo re nnang ke bona ba itse lona le itse selo go itse ba le ba province but he le ka berekisana nne bona ba berekisana le rena la tlogela go fa di company tse lo re tsona di re botsa gore re feng 2 million ro irela di artist festival he fitla ko 2 million ela e tshwantse irela di artist festival ba fa artist 500 o mo ba mo fa 2,000 ranta o mongwe ka re ba bona re o lastaha ba mo fa 20 nyana ba re tshwara nambile di cat so ke a leboga before le nkoba ke a leboga but please change system ya lena re fe mbereko hana bano le mo di TV tshwanishi le ana a re thuse ka selo mara ke a rena ha re tlhalle mo di TV he ke nya ko tuma tshwantse ke thome ke tlhobole ke tsamaye ka ntho ke ntse ke ba ra isole ke bantse ke nambile ke go tseba ha ka kra le tšhelete bana ba rena na bano ba tlhobola banyana ba tlhobola gore ba kgone go kry-a tšhelete ba itsagale ntle le gore ba ire mo ba ka se be dijo tafoleng la bona re keng re ruta bana eng ana ka mokgong ke eng se re se rutang bana ba rena ke artist e bjang o tshwanetse ke opela and then ke be le bosesinyana ba babedi ke ba apese ke re he le fitlha kwa le tlhobole la di bona mo di-social media ba gaetso ke a leboga a re lwe le lona but lokisang
a re mošapele matsoape ke a leboga batswadi purpose ya o tla mo ya gore committee e be na le public meeting ke gore le thole opportunity ya gore le engage le department. The reason re beya a time limit gore re extend the opportunity ya bua to almost everyone abatla go bua. So imagine if everyone ya ka fitla o mongwe le mongwe a ibuela nako e batlang o mongwe a bua 20 minutes o mongwe a bua 30 minutes. So it means gore batho ba bang ba tlo thola opportunity ya go bua. So ene ha re qala re itse department ba entse presentation. Are trying we limit within that presentation. Are etseng di inputs tsa rona ka pa re share di frustration tsa rona le department but re are straight to the point so that motho a tlang ka morao le yena re mo senyetse nako le yena o thola nako enough. So batswadi a re le laele ka pa re le dictate le mpa fela ne re kopa hore a re hlompheng nako re kgone ho fa le ba ba matang ka morao. Ke a leboha. Thank you.
Ke a dumedisa baetapele o bolelang ke Mabetha Mathole ke moetapele wa Tshwane from Soweto re ne re kgethana leadership ya boxing re kgethana nna ba ile ba nkgetha ka mo Pretoria gore ke tlhokomele vacation ya Pretoria mara ke bile le problem since re ntse re kgethana from 2016 ka go Soweto re khona wa ga Jimmy problem ya rena re tshwantse re age di Jimmy the whole South Africa tsa boxing re khona wa ga Jimmy ya CWJ after Jimmy ya CWJ na tshwantse re tlo ko Mamelodi re tlo wa ga Jimmy Mamelodi re tlo wa ga Jimmy ko makeisheneng o tshwana le bo Atterisville Hammanskraal Brongor and then re ka khona o kopanya makeishene a bo Soshanguve re tla khona re tswela pele re ye Limpopo sa le ra ga CWJ fela ha one mo sa le go iregala se seng re feletse ka CWJ go fitlhela le ka tseno tšhelete sa le ya tswa ya fella ko motho na ira budget eo a re itse re o tsene kae go iregala eng nna ke tlhakantshang batho ba boxing surrounding Tshwane le Tshwane yona ka bo yona le fele le tla le tlo tlhola gona le maghoa a ranang Tshwane ba irile ya bona a isa le Tshwane ya batho ka makeisheneng a letle e tsena ko makeisheneng le tlo bona ko makeisheneng selo se se leng ka makeisheneng a ona di facility ko makeisheneng ntato na fetsa o bolela o tswa Atterisville go ra itse re go tliwe mo o boditse ke nna wa Hammanskraal ke monyakile ntate mokoka gore le ena a tle makeishana ke le ka wa kopanya gore ba tle mo ba tlo khona le botsa gore ko makeisheneng a rona ha o sa ne di facility tse ne di teng ba di vandalized ene re ya go Tshwane re kopela thuso re re felle ka ba phisenyana re tla ikeletsa a ba dumeli nna o ka re ke na le 20 years ke ba botsa ntho mara a ke ba lwantse ke re ka gore dilo tse ke tsa bona a se tsa rena a ba di tshware mara tla no trainer la ke trainer bana mo strateng boxing a o train mo strateng o trainer ka montlu mara nna ke trainer bana mo strateng ke trainer bana for 20 years mo strateng ene ke ne le champion e tswa ni Olympic in 1989 o tshwere flyer South Africa a ya di-Olympicing, a tla le flaga, tshwara, he was a captain ya di-sporting code. Ke na le di-champion, tse 4, ko Mamelodi. Ba trainer mo leroleng, mo strateng. A hone mo ba trainelang. Mara, he ke ya ko Tshwane offices, he ke ya office, ba mpontsha mabati a se Tshwane. He ke ya le leng ke le blue, le leng ke di-roboto. He ke ya ko officing, a ke re thuso. Ba none ke ipotsa hore office e lena le e berekang, ke yona ya Tshwane, or ke ya Gauteng fela na? Ke thuso ke nyako e kry-ang hore ka bošo e ke ya ko office ke itse hore ke ya ko lebating le le bjang la colour efe mabati a re yang kona colour tsa teng a di tshwane re kgopela hore le nthuso hore ke kgone ho itse hore ke ya ko colour-eng ya lebati le lefe ka gore ko officing ya Tshwane ke a tsena mara ha ona lebati le le right ntate wa tlileng wa Atterisville he nka lokela o tla lokela wa Hammanskraal o tla lokela wa Atterisville o tla lokela wa Hammanskraal o tla lokela he nna nka lokela mara he nna shebe ke lokele ko ba bontsha lebati le lefe ke kgopela re thuso le tsa mo di-officing tseo gore bana ba makeishene ba kgone ba le ba kgone ho compete against one gona ba leng o ka se bole ka boxing ko Atterisville ha one boxing o ka se bole ko Atterisville ka boxing ko Mamelodi Hammanskraal because maburu ba tsere boxing ba irile ya bona ba irile kore ke ya bona go tshameka bana ba bona ba lena he ba tla ba re hai le tla tshameka o fitlhela mo kwa le ska la tshameka le tshameka o fitlhela mo kwa le tshameka bana ba rena ba tswaleletse ko khoneng le na le teng emela le tsena ko makeisheneng emela le ska bolela le ntse fatshe
Department, ke kopa le mothuse hore o kokota monyako ofeng hore a thole assistance with regards to development ya boxing. Thank you. Me a katileng line mo, ke a bona line e ntse e hola e etsa eng. Ne ke kopa o check line hantle mme. All right, re ka ya me a re o laele ne re kopa o ye. We are diving straight. Thank you.
Ndikodumelisa bathu vothe nga dzina la Yesu ndinga shori nga dzina la Yesu nga urothe afano nrodisiwa nga tshilidzi tsha mudzimu amen vhane vha khomba afano ndi all dam down from Itireleni nani mudzulapo wa Itireleni afano ndi Lodium ndikopfa khomba zwithu zwinji nga manda baduri hange ini Rosina Silivani vha khou thusa vha thusana nga masogisi vha thusana nga mini mara rine raba vhadzulapo vhane vha 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 Itireleni tsini henefha ahuna thuso Itireleni na zwino ndi tshi khou amba zwa zwino ho guwa dzi groundini hovha hu tshi khou paka mabasi a vhana vha tshikolo mara zwa zwino ho guwa dzi ground hedzilani mavu o ima mara ho khou ambiwa nga budget dzine dzi sina vhukone dzine dza bvisiwa kha department dza ḓa kha Tshwane dza ḓa ngeno kha dzinthuni kha municipality mara a ri khou kona u dzi vhona ground heilani i khou disturba nga maanḓa badi ine ya vha ngeni mavu aḽa o ḓadziwaho dzi groundini dza Itireleni a khou disturba dzi basi dza vhana vha tshikolo ngauri basi a dzina parking dzi khou ḓa dza ima hanefho nthuni hafhanoni dzi groundini zwa zwino hono pakiwa mavu ho dzhiwa dzi telb o pakiwa mavu zwa zwino ṅwaha u khou fhela a dzina parking dzinthuni dzi basi tsha vhuvhili hangeini Itireleni ahuna bulegeni ya vhana ho tambela ahuna bulegeni ha vhana ho tambela vhana vha khou tambela tshiṱaratani ende vhana zwa zwino vhana vha ya xela a ri koni ndi uri tshifhinga tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe ṅwana wa ya kidnapiwa tshifhinga tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe vhana vha ya kidnapiwa na kha dzi radio na kha dzi TV hu khou vha khou ambiwa tshithu tshithihi I'm thank you for that tshine tsha vha hone ndi khou ombela thuso khulu nga maanḓa badi ngori hangeini Itireleni ri khou occupya vhana vha 15 for Zulu dance ri khou ombela thuso vhathu vha mudzimu ri khou ombela thuso because of kharali uri u tshi khou ṱhogomela vhana vha vhasidzana u khou ṱhogomela vhana vha vhasidzana 17 years 18 years vhaṅwe vha kha grade 11 grade 7 grade what vha kha mix vhana vhalani rine ri tshi khou vha bvisa vha tshi khou bva out vha tshi khou ya dzi eventeni vho vhidziwa ri to ḓi setsha rine vhane vhazwo uri vana balani ba kono u bva ba tuwe ba yo roba bvisa stratani ba tuwe ba yo participate na vhaṅwe vhana ndi khombela thuso vhathu wa mudzimu
Thank
ngauri
you.
a vhana zwiambaro zwo ambara
Thank you.
ndi khombela thuso
Okay, come on now. When we started, we requested for hands. But don't allow batho ba ne ba sa raise matsoho ntse ba kena lining. Anyone at tla kamera ntate wa Kepisenzo. We are not going to note or acknowledge or no mofa an opportunity or bua. Because initially re kupile matsoho so matsoho ne re sa ba thola. Ntate again, not that ra le surprise. But ne re kopa ebe issue ya straight to the point, and then nga o qeta o kopane le batho ba department, and then I think le rona ba committee ya rona ntsa ba note di consensus tsa lona so that committee ka dinka le department. Thank you.
No re a leboha. A ke lo bo motelle man. Ere sa mathomo re lebogele monyetla o re o kry-ileng that is invited re kry-ileng mo go lona. Re nagana gore invitation e ska ba ka tjeko e be ya fela ka tjeko. Ne re nagana gore maybe during the process ya what you are doing it tshwanetse always involve community. Re ska ba ra tla mo re tlo expect gore re endorse the report e leng gore araba part ya yona, you see. So ne re nagana gore re welcome the report mara re ra endorse re ra welcome. Now go na le di boledi tse ngata tse di boletseng pela ka ne ba ntsha di frustrations tsa bona le rona re na le frustration sa mathomo rona re tswa re le ko local council ya Matrichville e ba ibitswang gore ke ASREC. Now, ASREC, renali affiliated members, about 10, right? Le boxing, ki one of our affiliates, renali challenge, it's serious. It's access the facility. Hona no retshwanetse rona, ribitse general council, meaning rebelli a meeting wa di members tsa rona, re sokola go kry-a venue. Re postpone di meetings tsa rona gore re kgone go tshwara di meetings tsa rona ka mo gare ga boardroom ya stadium se e leng sa setšhaba. So gone ba no process ge o shebile it's a bit cumbersome ka nako la ne go le easy ne re ya mo administrator re buka pleke re araba gona no tshwanetse re apply today a inke a ise ko di senior tsa hae inke the whole month. Now re tshwanetse re kopane ka Friday ba re kopile gore re reapply re modernize re reapply. We did so tot vandag even today are so great response gore ro kopana kampor ka skopane na. So this is our challenge e re kopanang le ona ko makeisheneng a rona. So ne re kopa gore yourselves le intervene. Now ge re bolela ka di facilities go na le ntate o tswang Atteridgeville wa Boxer ne ke batla gore ke no tlatsa gore while se re bolela ka di facilities really invite yourselves gore go be le ntwe re bitsang gore ke inspection in loco, meaning letle lona self le tlo inspect di facilities tse re nang le tsona so that re ska no bolela ntwe e leng gore a le itse, because re expect or after this meeting le tshwanetse le tlo checka gore ntwe tse ne re di bua ke nnete na. You must come and meet with us. So ne ke nagana gore please the challenges tse re nang le tsona yourselves ka heli ribitse today and re complain ka tsheko a ke bone motho ka ro a ngwala mo e tlo re fetsa mo a kry le gore a ona selo se sengwetsweng. So ne re kopa gore di complain tsa rona le di ngwale mo and come back to us go riska and the next day ke LGE o wa ngwala next day ke LGE
a re batlo hore re le bone fela ka nako tsona tsa mofuta ona o tsa di local government elections, please. Re tshwanetse
Ra leboha papa.
no, e re ke felletse. E re ke felletse. Because hona ba ne he ko tloa mo yo batla hore na bua nonsense ole wa bona. So ne re nahana gore today ge re le bona re ska le bona la bofelo nke le nne ntse letla because we want to build a good working relationship le lona wa bona so that ge re na le mathata re itse re ya go mang re go ba le di phone number tsa lona so that ge re na le di challenges re itse re kokota mo lebating le lefeng. Thank you very much.
Leboha papa.
Hello, everybody. Tobel. My name is Patrick Tabane from Atteridgeville. I'm representing martial arts in Atteridgeville. Brevity is a soul of wit. I don't want to waste time talking about things which people never spoke of. Our concern is based on facilities. We've got about 135 participants all over the Atteridgeville area, using 2 or 3 grounds, and then some of them are using 2 halls. We, karate people, we are using a facility in 29 Mukauto Street in Atteridgeville in a garage. And we've got about 5 international participants in our own area. So last time we had a meeting in Super Stadium with some of the people who were crying about facilities. So expect anything to come from now before the end of July next year. There's a strike coming because we're gonna march to the offices. We're going to march, I'm telling you. Expect us to march. Thank you.
Dumelang, wa bolela mo ke Vincent wa ga Molepo. Ke tswa ke le Mamelodi. Ne ke kgopela go ka bolela ka dilo tse latelang.
Mameleng, a re mo mameleng.
Nka bolela. Nka tswela pele ka bolela.
O ka tswela pele.
Ke a leboga. Ya mathomo ke nyako bolela nyako ko re pila go botsa di question. Ya mathomo ke development ya art center ko Mamelodi le reng sa le re tshepisiwa from 1998. The art center, community art center se government ya ga ya te committee mo tsona. From 1998 nkile ra ba le Solomahlangu at open air theater. E le hore ene e bereka e thusa community ya Mamelodi re ne re khona dira di activity mola Mamelodi otlhe plus le from Kompumalanga di group tsa tshwana le bo Sai Plus Boys le ba bang ba di group tse di opela music wa Sindebele ba ne ba khona re ba ire di event tsa bona ko Solomahlangu theater. So ile ya thubiwa theater eo go go irwa an improvement go irwa a new development ya go improve Solomahlangu Park. So rena bana ka community e re affectile thata because arsana theater arsana art center. So re no ba mo ntwe go re berekela mo building engwe ya khale e le horeng ga ena di facilities tsa hore e khono thusa development ya di arts as such. And then engwe gape ke mabapi le lack ya support especially for batho ba ba irang visual arts. Last time re ne ra bona ko Ikageng Hall go ne le di activities tsa di batho ba irang poetry bo dance le bo theater ba thusa ke Gauteng province. So really re botsisa question mo hore rena ba go drawer rena ba re drawer ba re ngwala ba re berekang ka drawing leng na rena re thuswa ke mama be ba re no the whole power or strength sa support is based ko Gauteng rena ba ko ka mo Pretoria ka mo ga gona support for program tsa visual arts ge ke bolela so Renele a hang exhibition ko Centurion, barking go, Centurion Art Gallery, maybe it's a Spectra Art Gallery. At the moment, Renele hang exhibition. So one song where visual arts is really living Goma Melody. The artists out draw, they are there. They've been there for years and Basatsola Pil. So Kopala to Sohonamu. And then in Tunga Happy, out of the Kolotso Mamelodi, there's only one school. Says Neling swimming pool. So Kolore Alamakal Wabanabarna sometimes about Rauna Havelo, Heba participate in the activities in study camping Lingley. Kiscolos one FL. Modi Madikolas are more than 40. In fact, almost close to 50. Says one FL in swimming pool. So Riputsaurana apartheid planning Yadikolas at Sola Pelena. And then hey, can you repeat the question? I'm on point, I'm supposed so.
No, mame,
Alright, thank you, Mipa.
auna mtu mhlabisa ndihlong.
Thank you, Mipa.
And remember, no, mame, like na Roma mezulwen. Remember committee, ke yona e facilitate le ngore tlo bua le department, auna mtu mhlabisa ndihlong. So hence re ro wrap up, wa bona na le batho ka morao. And eba re tshwantse re fe le batho ba ng opportunity ya ho bua. Thank you.
Ke a leboha. Go ne go nna le recommendations by Commission for Linguistic and Religious Rights. Ya go bontsha gore community ya Rastafari e oppressive. Ne re potsa gore as a legislature, because re na le programs tsa rena as the Rastafari community, re na le bo Bob Marley Week, re na le bo Africa Month tse di ranang every month, every year ko Sulmatlangu Art Center. Se lo hore re bene re iputsa hore a seng re support ke selo government a seng re support mo di activities tseo. So nze re butsa hore in terms ya di recommendations tseo tsa bontsha hore batho ba leng ba tumela Rastafari ba gatelletswe. Na legislature e ka re thusa ba mo di art and sports activities tsa rona go bontsha hore legislature le yona ga se part ya oppression ya batho ba tshwanang le rona ya. Ke a leboga.
Good afternoon. Ra leboga sebaka se re fileng sona. Nna ke nna Elijah Khoba, ke tswa ke le Mamelodi, Tshwane Arts Forum and Tshwane Artists Association, and then also Military Veterans Society in the arts. So ne re tla khopela hore department ya rona ya Gauteng legislature ba tlhokomele gore di funds tse di setseng tse leng di overhead di leng teng. Rena li regional office mo Tshwane mo. Hele ka thusa di regional offices tseo. At least ya 1 million. Ba na le database batho ba. Ba bone gore ba ka tshone go empower di artists di leng teng. A hona tšhelete tshwantse bo le morao. Always ba re tšhelete overspend, fruitless expenditure. Di department a dina tšhelete. Ho ya go kokota ba ra rena funding. At least busetsang tšhelete ko di municipal offices tsa rona re kgone ho tseya tšhelete re berekise for the good use, because re na le di forum tse di leng di teng, re na le regional office tse di leng teng, mara ditšhelete di boela morago ko treasury, then tšhelete e re kopela re at least e re etsetse mosola, because re na le development, re na le over 35, re na le under 35. So re kgone ho bona how can we split amongst us. Re na le program tse re proposang tsa di military veterans, but they hit the brick wall. A re kgone go di tsweletsa pele. Re na le program tse re proposang from the arts associations, from Hammanskraal, Atteridgeville, Mamelodi, Soshanguve, ba botlhe ba nne ba eme mo ba lla ka funding. At least the tšhelete eo le ska e busitsa morao ga e tle e kgone go tswela pele for development. Thank you.
Dumela. Ke Mr. Matlala mare ke bitsa Kim Mabereta ke bina minore ke le gospel. Nna ke dula mo Lodiam Strepeng iterele. So na se re tshopelang fela go ka ba le ba re di producer tse di tsa government, like ke sengwe gore ke no khwetsa ke dile music 30 years everywhere when you go in bar mastering is not good, mastering is poor. Very khopela fela na ba ka thusa fela ra ba le di professional producers around, let's say ertle mo holong re tse gore to tshwarela meeting mo, like ke tloang ke tla mo holo ke tse gore okay ke ba reka le producer e leng educated le qualified, because ya re tshwenya ntho go tlo le motswadi ngwana bola ke pelo o spend 10,000 and at the end of the day ntho la etswe le pele a o thushi so a sa ne tšheleteng. So nna ke se re se kgopelang fela tse ntse ya kana le tsona. Thank you.
Ashe. Nna lebitso ke nna Pamela Sefane sa ka ke Rangongo. Ke chairperson ya ka board the collectors art and drama group. Ke tla ke mo lefatsheng la ka mo itireleng. Ne ke gopela department hore ha e thuse nyana ka holo ka mo itireleng hore re be le community hall. Ke di talente tse ngata tse di leng teng ka mo itireleng mara ha ona go di tswellang teng ka lebaka la makare wa utlwang gone bene gore ba re thusa ba thusitseng mara le ntho e one ha ona e one le ka e supang gore e ba re thusitse ka yona. Ne ke re ona ka mokgwa ba kgona gore bribe ka dijo tsa bona ba re fang tsona ba re bribe nyana le ka baka tšheletenyana e nnyane and then e bontsha gore re kgone ho tswela pele ka gore se re se bang gore nnete ya nnete e re dijo tsona re setse re tseba gore re tlela tsona. And then ba make sure ra shootiwa mo e re kry-a dijo ra wa mo re thusitse mo teng. Don ne re sa tlela gore re be fame ra gopela hle gore re thuseng like something yana re na le boausi ka mo morago ka mona ba ira ditulo tse tsa matlhaka ona go itireleng again. Then o ka utlwela di-categories tsa batho ba ba otlhe ba nna ba tlile mo ba ba llang ba tshwere dilo tse e le gore re ka combine ra tlhakana ra emisa Tshwane ya tshwana le Gauteng mara o tla ka tse ko re Tshwane ba tumile ka botsotsi fela ka maka le botsotsi ke e re tumileng ka yona ne ke gopela hle department gore ke a tseba gore le no ira ka le re file ditse mara la utlwela selo le no ba le tsamaisana ka gore e chae then e be le gore le sebeditse.
Re a leboha. I think the department le notile di concerns, the frustrations, inputs tsa di stakeholder tsa rona mo provinceng. I think the committee e notile the concerns. HOD, I know normally we call people from different programs to come and respond, but today can we have you respond to everything and also maybe give an assurance to stakeholders regarding what you are doing and also what you are planning to do. Thank you.
Realeboga Program Director, Honorable Member Chabalala. Agikalega question number 1. Ya ground plot, your HOD machinini was promised. Karabo etemo, and Karabo Gore, no Nabutaka Nore. Some problem between the owner of the land, le Maspal. So le facileo, lina le motho le facileo le Maspala or Balikate hand. Mar arsa fella mo ar pusha hore re follow up or Maspala akase khonu thusa. So in between re danka number ya how re bue le motshabi hore re bue le wena re khono bua le Maspala ba bona re ba ka thusa. So itaba mo phone re tla bua le wena maybe tomorrow re khono bua le wena le motshabi le Maspala. Motho fatsi re ka se no yena hana no tatana ko ene later on. Re ke kaete o tla gutla o tla gutla o tlo gutla.
Mama, thank you. That is not how we operate, please.
Hona le ntato bule ko garankua hore nothing is said about garankua. Hona le mme mona ore mbele mo le batho ba hore ba thuse tshwane kaofela. O te Mamoropa eme ka maoto. Mamoropa ema ka maoto ba o bone. A utlwe mama. So reach okay. So rena le program ya o bereka le Maspala le Mamoropa ke corridor ya north ba bitsa north corridor. Ba khono go mamella mathata kaofela la buileng ka ona. Mara ntwe kgolo e bagolo ba buileng ka yone ke taba ya di-facilities. So di-facilities ke ntho ya gore re kopanele le masepala. Honorable Chair, re kopile batho ba department gore a re beng le di-indaba in communities so that ba sa complain ha o na le meeting also. Let's go to them and have meetings with them. Not all problems will be resolved, but we know we have a plan to work together as a community. So, Pilisane, we agreed that all sports codes are valid in Daba. Re kopa maitshwarele ka ntho ya transport gore tlile late. Re kopa maitshwarele gore tlile late. Legislation ne re berekile gore e fitlhe earlier, but it immediately late. So from now onwards, re tla improve gore e tle ka nako gore o sa ba late for the meeting. We also want to ensure ke ntho ne ke botsa batho ba ke berekang le bone gore ha re ya ho community a re ba bontsheng gore ba benefitile kae. So ntho ya gore re bua ka di-million mo le mare ha ba bone o di ile ko kae. It's something that we should be able to talk to it. So ke ntho e le re tlo batla gore ha re ya plekeng re bitswa ke committee re go tla re bua gore ke ye tšhelete e ile ko kae e ile ko bomang. So I think ke ntho e le gore e tlo batlagala. Ntho ya film and theatre re na le batho ba bagolo ba film and theatre mo ke sure le ba utlwile batho ba ne kopa before re tsamaya kaofela mo ne be re nkile di-number kaofela re kgona ba feedback mare re kgone fa le chair feedback gore re tsamaile jwang le batho ba buileng ka meeting. The other thing e bohlokwa ke taba ya di-venue tse leng gore ha di success gore ra aga di fetsa di sa bereke. Ke ntho e batlang rona le masepala re bue ka tsone gore re lokisa di-venue jwang. Ntho e holo ne ke bua le ntate wa boxing gore he was a bantamweight. No, you are a welterweight champion. So in my younger life, I used to be a professional boxer myself. Actually, Mutal Akilalona Lien, I trained him. That guy was my junior in my younger years. But I take interest. Last week we met with Boxing South Africa. We said to them, the department will also support local boxing. But how are we going to support it? We also thought the government does not have the money to cover everybody. We are going to take care of the developmental boxers, or the boxers who are professionals, but they don't have money to go up. So they call them transfusional boxers. But we also said to the South African boxing, let's give attention to gyms, so that we can also give punching bags and any other equipment that is required for boxing. But it was like re kopa re be le di-code in Davos, re bua le di-boxer, re bua le di-tennis, kaofela bona. And so we are going to get a time where, before we leave, we can also have a time to talk to you about how we hope to transform boxing in our townships. So it's important. We have asked South African boxing for a party anti-drugs campaign, substance abuse, so that we all can work together and change our young people for the good. So I think we'll take interest. The filmmakers, there's a lady who's a director who says, I'm particularly interested on young people and give me an opportunity. There's the one who said, I can spend at least 400 per week, and per month I need 2.4 million for a year. So it's something that you can pick up interest more on and see how you work. A lot of Boniface, a lot of people who talked about art and culture in townships, you are actually right that we need to take interest on communities, because if we spend money on the established ones and forget the ones that it creates problems. And I think we've made a point that to take money to those who are already established is good sometimes, but it also is important to give attention to those who are still going up. So we are asking Boniface to take interest on community arts and culture. Boniface. So I'm committing you that all of them who spoke about arts and culture, take out their interest. The lady who said, give attention to that as Boniface. I think there's another one who spoke about it, but the common message, Chairperson, is the facilities. Is the facilities. So it's something that we should take interest in. The visual art centers, theaters, and all facilities that we. Now let me say to you, so that the department didn't tell the truth. We're going to give attention to all, but not everything will be covered at go. So that we need to be able to agree that there are things that can be done, others can be done. So interest, Mama Ropa, let's take interest. Link to our government and local office, let's go down and help to unlock the situation where people are. So as Chair, I think that's the summary of what I wanted to say. Is it fine, Chair?
Yes, thank you very much. So also, HOD, we have been invited as this committee, we have been invited to the infrastructure committee meeting, roundtable discussions, and the sport, arts, culture, recreation committee. We have been invited in that committee to also speak about infrastructure issues. So everything that have been discussed here related to infrastructure will also raise it in that committee where the MEC of infrastructure will be there. On the issue of transport, we have also noted it as the committee, and we are also concerned on how this arrangement was made. So we will be taking it up also as to the legislature supply chain department on how transport arrives late and inconvenience community members. So that is the commitment that as the committee that we will take it up. But also all these inputs that were made today in this meeting, we will be taking them as an oversight committee, and they will be tabled at the House on the 4th of December 2025. So they will be part of the oversight report that will be tabled on the 4th of December. So everything that has been inputted here, questions and what we have taken note of them also as the oversight committee, and we'll also be taking it up with the department when we have our meetings with them. Other matters that were raised outside of the scope of the annual reports will be referred in that meeting that we'll have with the department as a follow-up and also intervention on those issues. So, Rally Leboha haholo for coming here today. Little kopana le department, little hlalosa bohloko ba lona, but also little ikutlwela hore department e entse eng over the year. So we hope hore ka di input tsa lona le ditletlebo tsa lona, the department will take cue from it and do better. We will also monitor. Ours is to scrutinize the department and check hore vela tse ba di promisang community they are done, but also they are not also done, but they have impact, because there's no use ya hore o deliver attire to community, but then attire is lost in the process. Hayetse impact in the lives of our young people. So we will be here. We are here until our term ends to take the department to account. So we will be following it up. There will be follow-up meetings. We go around all Gauteng areas, all regions. You are not restricted to be here only. If you follow us and you see another stakeholder engagement, you must also go there. Transport will be provided. You go there, issues that you raise, you follow up. If the department have made commitment that it was a so at this particular time, and that has not happened, you have a right as a committee members to follow us and check. You have a right to write to us. Even those basa khonang ho botsa dipotso, mme philile kona Sigubutu, please do come to her, utlalefa email ya hae, so that you can also write to us. So that, because rona re kopana di department from time to time. So we can also submit your questions and your clarity seeking also. So that will be that from us. And on behalf of all of us as the committee, we want to thank you, the department HOD, on behalf of the Department of Gauteng and the Gauteng Film Commission and our support staff here, and also you as the stakeholders. We want to thank you for participating in today's engagement. Hopefully this will be a start of positive results and accountability and implementation thereof. So there will also be catering that will be provided. I'm sure you, lunch, I'm sure they will advise how it's going to be. So I will suggest that you sit where you are, and then lunch will be provided to you. It will come to you. So thank you, and the meeting is officially adjourned. Lunch, you, from that door, yeah, that door, please go that side.